Hey, it's Tyson, and I'm back for another Saturday episode. And today, I'm really excited about this episode. I'm going to give you a technique that is going to change the way that you view your time in your calendar. It's something that my good friend Jason Selk taught me in one of our sessions, and I'm going to pass it on to you. I texted him to make sure he was cool with it, and he was. And so I'm going to pass this on to you. It's something that is just so wonderful. So before I get into that, though, if you want access to Maximum Lawyer in Minimum Time, which is a course that Jim and I put together, that it's the roadmap to the success for your firm. If you want stage one of that course for free, for doing nothing other than being an amazing listener, all you have to do is text the words stage one to 314-501-9260. Sorry about that. 314-501-9260. And it's all yours. So, text it if you want it. Hopefully you will get access to that because it is one of those things that can really change your career in your law practice. So check it out. All right. So let's get into this technique. So I'm assuming that most of you have felt that 24 hours is just not enough time in a day. And so you feel like you're spinning your wheels, you're going from meeting to meeting, and you're just not getting everything done. And I'll tell you, you're not alone. We're all that way. You're normal. And so most professionals, I'd say, feel themselves being stressed for time, right? Their time is stretched. So they find themselves stretched for time. And what you have to do is find, and this is the magic part of this, you got to find the open space in your calendars. Okay. So imagine where you're in a meeting or a court appearance, you name it, or you've got a task you got to complete, some big task, and then you get done early. Happens all the time, right? Where you've got a client meeting scheduled for 60 minutes on your calendar, but you get done 15 minutes early. All right. So what do you do with that space? And this is where most people screw up. They waste that time. They waste that 15 minutes. And so instead of doing that, you're going to do a technique that Jason calls attacking the open space. For the longest time, I was calling it attacking the white space because I was looking at the white space on my calendar. But it's called attacking the open space. And it's a technique that was created by Jason Selk and Tom Bartow. And they talk about it in the book, Organize Tomorrow Today. If you've not read that book, I definitely recommend that book. But, and I talk about Jason Selk quite a bit, but also follow Tom Bartow. Tom Bartow is a really awesome guy. For those of you that know him, that have worked with him, pretty amazing. He's worked with the financial industry. His background is in finance, and so check him out as well. But yeah, the technique is called attack open space. And what you do is when you have that time, and we'll figure out what those times should be, how much in a second, but when you have that time, you say, okay, what can I get done that's on my list, on my to-do list? Now, I call it my attack list. I like that more than a to-do list, but I do have a list of items that are on a list that if I've got time, I go to that list. Okay. And so have your list, and you can have your list in any other form. You can have it on a Kanban board, whatever, but we talk about how to organize your list in another episode. I'm not going to talk about that today. Right now, what I want to talk about, though, is just find a place to put it and then take action. All right. Now, here's a really interesting part of this. So Jason has this, he actually wrote this article about this. And by the way, if you're not a Jason Selk fan, if you don't know about him, check him out. Go to jasonselk.com, get his book, Relentless Solution Focus. He's amazing. I've been using him for several years now. He's my coach. I meet with him on a regular basis. He's great. But he wrote this article, I think it's in Forbes, but he listed out generally how people based on different salaries view time. So if you're in the $50,000 to $100,000 range, you usually think of time in 30-minute units, right? But when you're at the higher levels, like you're making $2 to $3 million or more, you're usually thinking in about 3-minute units. And he's got it kind of varies between there, but those are the big ones. Like for example, between 350 and 500, thinking 10-minute units. But what you want to do is, so if you have, let's say you get done with your meeting and you have a spare 2 to 3 minutes, you attack that time. So that's at the higher level. If you're at the lower level, right? So you've got that, $50 to $100,000 range. So if you have an extra 30, you need an extra 30 minutes, right? So if I'm in a meeting, right, and I'm getting done, if I have 5 minutes, guess what? Boom, you gotta go attack that list, right? So what we've done is we've identified the time for me. He has me at 3, and so at 3 minutes, if I have at least 3 minutes, so it could be 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Boom, attack the list, attack the list, attack the list, and by doing that, that allows you to get so much more done. Now, are you going to get all your tasks done in those times? No, not necessarily. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack the list once the time is up and so I'll move on to the next item that's on my calendar. But in that middle time, boom, attack the list. It's a great way of being able to view your calendar and what to do with that extra time. So write down what your ideal time unit is, and then put it on your computer, put it on your wall as a reminder to you that whenever your time is up and you get done early with something, go back to your list, go back to your attack list. All right. So when you find that unexpected gap in your calendar, in your schedule, seize that moment, attack your list, and ask yourself, what can I get done in the next X number of minutes? All right. And doing this consistently will not only maximize your productivity, but it's also going to help you get closer to achieving your goals. Okay. And remember, consistent action is the blueprint that turns your goals into reality. So be consistent, take action, and listen to our next episode. It will be coming out in another week, so I'll see you next Saturday. If you're not yet subscribed to our episodes, make sure you do that as well. Until then, take care.